So most people that come to lessons usually say they want to be more consistent. When we have chats and I say, what ball flight do you prefer or what have you got? Most say, I'd like to hit a draw. Quite a lot say, I want to hit it straight. Here's why you probably don't need to bother.
So got some ball flights here of a player down at T-Box, and if I asked you to guess the handicap, what would you go for? So we got 7-iron here, and it's all starting okay, but then drifting off to the right. Thoughts on the handicap for this player? If I show the 5-iron, you can imagine starting off similar, but obviously more dispersion to the right because there's more club head speed, and obviously a flat club face, so that exaggerates the curve on the golf ball. So any guesses yet to the handicap? If I told you the 7-iron was carrying over 200 yards and he was swinging at 100 miles an hour, does that change your guess a little bit? And if I told you this was a tour player, would this surprise you? So what you'll notice here is all the shots are missing the target. Now, the target on TrackMan here, you would assume, would be straight down the middle. But the key word there is all missing the target. I think one might go the other way, but he might have been trying some sort of shape of shot that time, but his general stock pattern was starting straight, moving or missing to the right hand side. Because all of them are doing it, and because it's going quite a good distance, it's okay.
Well, yeah, if you're a beginner, then we would probably set people up, club face at the target, feet parallel to that, this train track type system. But if you're a player or you've played and you've got some sort of consistency with your ball flight, let's say it's push fade, draws, whatever, then you don't stand like this. You don't need to. And don't think it's compensating for a flaw or a bad swing or a bad flight. Let's say your ball flight is left to right. Now, we don't care if it starts left of target and moves to the right, or if the curve to the right is starting right, moving more right. As long as it's not too severe, like you saw from a tour player, then play with that. That's fine. In the meantime, if you are working on reducing the shape or changing the curve, fine. But when you're on the golf course, you do not stand like this if you hit push fades, yeah, or pull hooks, yeah, or even big slices. You adjust your aim accordingly, and it's not compensating for a bad swing. It's playing to your pattern. So the push fade you saw here, with no relevance to where they were aiming or the target, the actual amount of curve is completely fine. Plus it's going miles, which helps. But for this player, they're not going to be aiming like this. They did on TrackMan because they're just hitting shots and practicing, but they're not aiming like that on the golf course. They'll be this way some amount. And your club face doesn't have to match your feet. That can be different as well. I could have my, face that way, feet pretty level, more this way, whatever you need to produce the ball flight that's going to hit the target. So completely parallel, not really a thing. You can start like that. If you hit your target starting like that, completely fine, but you don't have to set up that way.